So you don't know what to do with it?
I have no idea. I mean, I could think of some things.
So you've never seen this before?
No. I mean, this is obviously just this. Or anything, using it. Whew. Wow, that's hard.
So it has that bungee cord, and it's got...
I'm sure you could do...
It's got a stick.
I don't know. A lot of things you could do with that.
Yeah.
Gotta get creative with that.
Yeah, get creative with that.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you tell me so I don't waste any time.
Okay, all right. Then I'll tell you what we'll do with the TRX Rip Trainer.
All right.
TRX Rip Trainer. Now, if you've got my book, Mule Fitness, thank you very much. And you'll see in the green section, we're wearing green again, it's the very first routine that I do. It's the TRX Rip Trainer. Now, I've got no affiliation with TRX. They're not paying me, so if you want to pay me, go ahead. But anyway, some of their products are good, and it's the very first green routine I do because I like it so much. And why? So now that we've gone through the blue routine and we've got the movement preparation and our bodies are working like they should and our core is getting ramped up, now we need to apply a load to all these strange shifting patterns that we learn with the Viper tubes and put, core activation through our body. So we have this stick. It's a steel baton with some rubber stuff on it. It's got a bungee cord, and I've got it attached to a wall. So we got Miss Julie's going to help us. So Miss Julie's never done a TRX.
Swear to God, not this.
So just pick the thing up, Julie, and I mean, what would you do with something like this?
Well, I mean, it's got a weight to it. It's probably, what, 10 pounds at least?
Yeah, probably. A little
And
steel rod.
then I can tell that this has some, you could easily do some movements here, so just guessing, this is a lot of ab work right here, I can already tell. So,
Yeah, so you can feel some ab work and all that.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, so really what it is, I like to consider this like the fascial networks of the body. They kind of weave together like in a three-dimensional pattern. And like the fabric of your shirt, we have a warp and a weft. And see how everything kind of stretches here? And in your body, three-dimensionally, all that's going on. So I'm going to get that ramped up. I'm going to get all the fascial networks to self-organize, and they're smarter than you are. So let them self-organize and give them inputs so your body can get strong, and we can connect that ankle, for example, her left ankle to her right shoulder. And that's what we want. We want to get really strong and ramped up. So without further ado, let's see how to use this thing. So I'm going to have Julie hold this thing, and we're going to use our little strap here for safety. So if she holds this in one hand, so put that around your wrist, and maybe we're going to hold it right here, okay, Julie, and she's going to hold it out here, and we're just going to walk out towards you, the home viewing audience, and scoot over just a little bit this way, right? And so I'd like to keep this at about a 90-degree angle. This is a nice bungee cord. This is a medium bungee cord. They come in light and heavy and extra heavy. Medium is a good one to start. So this will be her base hand, folks. We'll call that at position 1. And then this is position 2. Okay. We'll call that 3, 4, and 5. And that's maybe 4.5. So remember those positions. We're going to call this the power hand, and this is going to be the base hand. All right? So the only rule about the Rip Trainer is this thing splits in half, and here's the middle point where it unscrews, and that's the middle point. So I want Julie to keep this thing out. She's going to hold it right here in front of her chest, and she's just going to push out. And the whole idea is that the middle of the tube between the thumbs, the middle of the tube has got to be right at the sternum. Okay. Never forget that rule. If you do, you're going to lose the efficacy of this, meaning it's not going to work as good.
Thank you.
Right?
I didn't know what efficacy
This is not going to work as good if you don't do that.
Okay.
Okay, so just give me a push out for a couple times.
Yep.
Okay? We got that.
Yep.
Now step out a little more. We can make it harder. And now she's pushing out.
Woo.
Step out some more.
You sure?
Yeah. And now we can see it's getting really difficult. So there's a couple things about these little bungee cords. They get harder as you move out. So remember that. Now, we're going to play around with this thing. So now what I want Miss Julie to do is I want her to hold it at position 4. So base hand at 1. Power hand, I'm going to call that power hand at position 4.
Okay.
So what was the rule again, folks? The middle between the thumbs, which is about right here, has to be at her sternum.
Oh, gotcha.
Ah! What does that do? So now, look at this. This is an arm about a foot or so, and this is torque. So what's happening? Now push out, Julie. Whoa. So what's going on? Something really happened there that was really neat. So push out again. This hand is pushing. What's that hand doing?
Pulling.
Pulling. This is pushing.
Woo.
That's pulling.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. So I'm doing 2 different loads on the body, and what's happening through your torque and through your core?
I gotta hold it tight. Remember?
You got to hold it tight. And what's happening with your feet? Maybe a little bit bigger base of support.
Yep.
Okay? Now, so this is the first thing I do to introduce the concept of torque. Ugh, your body has to fight it. And that's what I love, and that's going to get us good and country strong. Now, if we have to pull, what do?
Pull this hand further this way.
Turn to your right.
Oh.
180. All the way. Turn to your right, 180.
Oh, I got you.
Back up. See, folks? So what we can do is I can still keep this torque, and now I'm going to have you shift over just a little bit here. Right? I'm going to keep this at a nice 90. Again, where's the center of the tube, folks? Between your thumbs?
Whew.
Right there. And now, go ahead and give me a row. So, keep your hands in the same position, just turn around 180, and then we can push and pull.
Wow, that's cool.
And now, this is pulling, and what's this hand doing?
Pushing.
Pushing. So the base hand was pulling, now the base hand is pushing, and the power hand in the other one was pushing, and now it's pulling. So we get this cool looking torque going on,
Cool.
and that's how we get real 3-dimensional country strong, and that's the basics of the TRX Rip Trainer. And trust me, folks, you're going to be 1 in 5 when you're starting out.
Yeah, that's hard.
Okay, good. TRX Rip Trainer squat. And we're going to row, and we're going to press this thing. So what I'd like to do is we're going to have Miss Julie pick up our TRX Rip Trainer, our nice steel baton. And the first thing I want to do actually is row. I think that's a nice way to start. So we're just going to kind of turn around, Julie, and back up. And back up for me, so I want you to have a nice load. So what was the rule, folks? We like the middle of this, and she's at 1 in 5, so she's doing the regress, or as regress as we can get. So she's doing 1 in 5, and the middle of this tube where it unscrews is right at her sternum if our hands are at either end of the tube. Got it? And so this is at a 90-degree angle. Our torque is only 1 little inch here, and so what she's going to do now, I'm going to have her just pull in to row, and she's going to squat as she does so. And it's weird. Right? Because we know one hand is pulling, one hand has to push to stabilize our rip trainer. And we can see your knees are doing all this really interesting stuff. Maybe you can't see it from your angle, but believe me, there's a really interesting torque going through the body, and Julie's going to do about 8 of these. And this is all in the first block of column 1.
I think this is it.
Of the book, right? Okay, so now what I'm going to have her do, I'm going to have her turn around 180, and she's probably going to back up a little bit. Again, we want to keep this at a 90, and again, she's going to keep this thing in the middle of the tube between her thumbs at her sternum, and she's going to squat and press. 2. Now her right hand is working. Now her right hand is the power hand, right? That left hand is the base hand, the right hand is the power hand, so we want to remember that. And I'm going to have her count out her 8 while I babble here.
I think that's 8.
Good. That's 8. Okay, now, it's easy to get screwed up. What hand was working? Uh-oh, so what do? I want you to turn back around and face the attachment point again. Now I want you to flip the baton. Change hands. So now we're changing base hand and power hand, right? Now, So now her right hand is the base hand, her left hand is the power hand,
Right.
and she is going to squat and row, right? That's the first thing we do, squat and row. And if she wants that harder, she can do two things, right, folks? She can either move out that way more, or she can move her power hand in towards the middle of that stick.
Ooh, I'll try that.
So now she's going to 4.5 now, and that's a nice place to be. So what happens is that, again, between her thumbs, maybe about where this rubber thing ends here, that's between your thumbs, that middle's got to stay in your sternum, and now this is the torque. So she's increased the torque from 1 inch to like 6 or 8 inches out here, plus that bungee cord force, and it's a lot harder, right?
Yes.
It's like seriously a lot harder.
A lot harder.
So going from 5 to 4.5, which is the middle of this black rubber thing. So what does she do now when she finishes her rate? She turns around again, 180. Now she's facing you into the home viewing audience.
And putting that hand back at 5.
Yeah, she's putting the hand back at 5.
All right.
And again, the middle, so we do our check here. That's the middle of the tube between her thumbs at her sternum. She's good to go. So just do 4 for me, Julie.
Okay.
And I want you to go back to 4.5 for this. So I'm going to demonstrate. So between her thumbs, it's got to be the middle of the tube. It's about right here. So the tube is going to want to shift this way.
Yep.
Because that's easier.
Yep.
No, you got to keep that tube at the sternum, right there. Got it? It's that important, folks. You lose the whole exercise if you don't keep that torque out there doing its job, going through your body, making your body work.
Whew.
And then you get huffy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's it. So that is a pull press with a squat. And that's in the first block. And in that first block, I also show split stance.
Oh, okay.
So we're going there next.
Okay.
Pull press, split stance. Boy, I like this one. If the squat was good, and this is your warm-up, folks. This is your first block of warm-up. So those squats and pulling it, that last thing, that was, so wait till you get this one. All right, Julie, here we go.
Okay.
So what do we like to pull first?
Pull
right?
first. Okay.
So she's got your base hand set up, and
Pulling.
yeah, and we're going to have it, so I'm going to do it, Julie, where your first 4 is going to be at position 5. That's at the end of the stick here, right?
Okay.
And then I'm going to have your next 4 be in at 4.5, which is right in the middle of this rubber, right there. So she's at the end of the rubber. Now she's going to be in the middle of the rubber at 4.5 for her next 4, and hopefully we'll see that torque difference on you. Now, there's only one rule of split stance, and that is the power leg is on the power hand side. That's the one that goes back. I'm going to say that again. The power leg goes back on the power hand side. Don't forget that, because now this whole side of her body is opened up and the tube wants to pull her around and she's got to really fight it. So I'm making her core work harder than if I had the other leg go back.
Right.
Okay? Enough said. I don't want to beat this into the ground.
Is that good?
All right? So I want her to get into a nice split stance. I like that back foot up, ball that foot a little bit. And here she is. She's going to stand nice and tall, and she's just going to drop that back knee towards the floor and pull in. And we're going to pull in for 2, 3, 4. All right, folks, you're following along. Here we go. She's going to go into the middle of that black thing, and at 4.5, and she has to shift that tube out that way to get the middle right at her sternum between the thumbs. And here we go. We're going to pull in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what do? Don't change the hands, folks. You'll screw yourself up. Just turn around 180. Boom. What leg goes back? What leg? The power leg. Now, you never want to slack strap. Let's start at 5 again, Julie.
Right. Okay,
so the middle of the tube is here, right? And start with the tube in. Walk out. More. You want she wanted an upper body workout today, so let's give her one, folks.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So you're going to start right up, and then I drop the back knee as I push out. Boom. All the hard stuff happens at once. 2. And she's breathing. That's good.
4.
And she gets 4. What's she going to do? She's going to go to 4.5, the tube shifts towards me. This is the middle of the tube now, not here. Here it is. Here's the torque. Push out for 4. Boom. 2, 3, 4. Okay? Her right hand's the power hand. What does she do to switch that? She's going to turn around, face the attachment point, and she's going to flip the stick. So now her left hand is the power hand, her right hand is the base hand. And she's going to go to 5, 1 and 5. What leg goes back, folks? The power leg goes back. Okay? And she's going to row. That's 2, 3, 4. She's going to make it harder. She's going to go to 4.5. The tube shifts towards me. And then boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. What does she do? She doesn't let go. She just turns around 180. And now we're going to finish up on this side. Again, she's going to step on out. She's going to get a little bit of pressure. The power leg is back.
Back to 5.
You can come out a little farther, can't you?
Okay.
All right, workout, huh? Here we go. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. She's going to go to 4.5. The tube shifts that way. The middle of the tube is right here in front of her sternum between her thumbs. And I'm repeating that a lot, aren't I? I really want you to get that. It's that important because you're going to lose the exercise with a rip trainer if you don't do that. And now she turns, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
We pulled and pushed with the left, we pulled and pushed with the right, and that's it. I want to do some more, but
we're done.
That's enough. We're done. Stand-up paddleboard. You can have games with this thing, and I like it because it kind of makes things kind of like games of life real. And if you want to get country strong, you get strong on our farm or wherever we're going to be country strong on the football field, soccer field, tennis, whatever. We want to get country strong, so here we go. So I'm going to hold it in the 1 and 4 position. Got it? All right. And then I'm going to walk out. Hopefully I can still stay in frame here. And then if I'm on a paddleboard, I want to put this thing, if I'm standing on a paddleboard, like you do on a lake or at the ocean, if I put the stick right in the middle, am I on the paddleboard or in the ocean?
On the paddleboard.
I'm on the paddleboard. I can't get anywhere. So I need to put it out to the side, folks. So the outside of your foot, that's where you're going to put it in. So I'm going to squat nice and deep. I'm going to put the end of the rip trainer, the end of my paddle, and then I'm going to pull past my ankle bone, and I'm watching it. My eyes are watching the end of my paddle. I stand up,
Wow.
and I'm going to put it in again on the outside of my paddleboard in the water. I'm going to pull it about a ½ inch above the tile here. I watch it. Where my eyes go, my body goes, and that means I'm getting a torque, and my waist is working, and I want that. I want my waist to work as opposed to just having my arms work. All right, we're going to watch Miss Julie do it.
Not that far out. Just saying. I looked really far out.
All right, so here we go. We have the hand 1 and 4,
Okay.
right? Proper grip. She's just going to step on out. And then, so she's just kind of squat down and maybe the end of, she's going to maybe shoot for here somewhere. And she's just going to pull 1 inch above the tile floor past her ankle. And she's going to stand up. And we'll do it again. We'll do that for 8. 2. Notice how she watches where the end of that paddle is going. 3, 4, and back up 1 foot, Julie, for your next 4.
1 foot?
Yeah, just back up 1 foot.
Oh, back up. I thought you said stand on 1 foot.
No, I didn't say stand on 1 foot. That's funny. Now that would be, now that's a progressed exercise.
Okay.
No, just back up 1 foot, make it harder, right? Remember, if we step out, the rip trainer gets harder. And then I like just hang down there and see it and do it. You were in no hurry to get back to shore.
Woo!
And then what do? So come in 1 foot again. There you go. Let's change the stick on the other side. So you're still facing this way.
Yeah.
Just change hands.
Gotcha.
Yep. put that little strap around. This thing can get away from you, folks. So this hand is going to go under,
All right.
and this one's over at 1 and 4. That was a good mistake and a common mistake.
Yep.
Okay, so we got to get the hand positions right on a rip trainer. So again, she just squats down, she puts it into the left side of her body, she pulls back. And as her eyes follow the end of that stick, her torso turns and it's providing the power.
I'll step back.
Then she'll step back a little bit, make it harder. We'll do our last 4 here. She puts it in the water, she pulls back. And again, I love being really precise. Precise start points and end points, really important for the rip trainer.
Oh, that is so good.
We got it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I like that one.
This is a seated kayak. And for you kayakers out there, it's all about your torso. That gives you your power. So you can, in California here, I have a client who paddled from Dana Point to Catalina, like 24 miles or so. And trust me, he told me that you got to use your core, you just can't use your arms because they will fatigue out. So thank you for that client, for that information. So for a seated kayak, again, Julie's going to be facing, and she's going to sit down on our little tile floor here. And right away, notice how she kind of went right to the right position. It's the hands are over, middle, middle. So it's the middle of the black.
Huh.
Remember our little safety strap,
Okay.
Julie? So we go,
Yep.
That thing won't get away from us.
Yep.
And then it's middle, over. That's what I call it, okay? And then, so she's just gonna start kayaking, and she's gonna, each end of the paddle, she's gonna put into the water. And again, her eyes are gonna follow the end of the tube. It goes through middle, and it's like kayaking.
Whew.
Now, when you do the kayak, the tube, I like to have it, so she's kind of doing a figure 8, which is natural, and you probably will do that, but it's, I kind of like to go through the middle and then have it go through the middle, and you'll see why in the next exercise why this is important. So she goes to the middle. So what's happening with your left shoulder, Julie?
It's working.
It's working. So this is the normal feel of a paddle pulling you through the water. However, I really like this because the back of the shoulder, those posterior delts and all these kind of neat, crazy muscles back in here and the upper back, they have to work, and they're pulling back while this is doing the normal pull. So we'll flip the stick, we stay right where we are. And again, the rule is middle, black, over, right? Middle of the black, over. Here we go. And then, so now her right arm, closer to you guys, that's the one that's pulling traditionally. And then this one, she kind of pulls back on that end. So we pretend like we have 2 paddles on each end of this kayak. So that paddle goes, and then that paddle goes. So we're playing a game here, but we're getting the core nice and strong. And we really want to see her eyes follow the end of that paddle, and that's going to make her torso work, and that's going to provide the strength that she needs.
I like that.
And that's it. Seated kayak, and then we're going to do the standing version next. Standing kayak. All right, now we're getting someplace. The seated was just to get you prepped. This is the real deal. And maybe I'll do it towards you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this thing middle, over, just like we did before, right? And then when I go out, I am going to now kind of squat. And look, folks, you can't squat in a kayak. I mean, you're not standing in a kayak, but we're pretending, okay? So just pretend, go with me here. All right? So this is where I'm digging into that water. Boom, my eyes watch the end of that tube. And then now this is where I come across in the middle. And then I'm pulling back with my left shoulder. This hand isn't even doing any work. It's all this. This is doing the work. And I like that. And if you're a golfer, boy, that's going to help you a lot, let me tell you. And so I double count that 1, 1, and I'm doing a pulsing squat. Now, why don't I want to do with that classic figure 8? Because if this thing, watch out Julie, stay away a little bit. If I go in and this tube comes up, boom,
Yeah.
it can get away from you. That's dangerous. That's why we had a safety strap, folks. But if I come to the middle and I'm cautious about it, the tube won't get away from me.
Right.
Okay? Got it? Hope you can see that. And now we're going to have Miss Julie do it.
Again, much closer in. Okay.
Okay, over, middle, in the black.
Okay.
Here we go, and she's just going to dig in, go through center.
Oh, that is a pull.
That is a pull now.
Wow.
And these, Julie, after we go horizontal here, I can then kind of dig in vertically, but I hit horizontal, then I dig in vertically. So now, unlike the seated, she can really feel the pull with this left shoulder, which is that kind of funky side, because this is the power side. But that base hand side's got to do a lot of work too, doesn't it?
Whew, yes. This is great. I don't know how many I've done. It feels like a million.
It feels like a million, especially if we double count it. So let's flip the stick and now let's double count it, okay?
All right.
And we're going to give her a little interval. So when we do the exercise model only versions, so here we go. And she's going to dig in. I call that 1. 1. 2. 2. Her eyes are following the end of that paddle. Good. 3. She's going horizontal through the middle. And this is 4. 4. 5. 5. And you're working. 6. 6. You stop it for her. 7. 7. 8's our number, guys. 8. 8. And if you did 16 of those or 24, trust me, it would be a lot of work.
Wow.
Nice job.
That's tough.
Slap shot, mid-level. Again, more games. And let me put this base hand where it belongs. And this is my power hand. This is how I'm going to hold the stick, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on out and I'm going to have this back foot cheated a little farther forward than this foot. There's a reason for that. So I'm going to drive around on that back foot, on the ball of that foot. And the reason I have the back foot cheated out more towards that way is because if it's back here, I'm on a tightrope. I'm going to fall over. So this brings me into a nice, stable split stance. Got it? So what I'm going to do is the power is generated in the back leg. The arm is secondary again. Your powerhouse is all through here. So I'm going to see you guys use that and drive around. And this end of the stick is right at my hip. And across the room, I'm pointing at a very specific point. Again, rip trainers, you need a precise start point and you need a precise end point. Because this thing can get away from you. You can go fast later, but do it slow and deliberate at first. So I'm just going to do the other side and demonstrate. So again, this foot's cheated a little ahead, and I'm going to power around. And now you can see how this hand is right at this hip. It's got to be there. And where's max torque, folks? Right there. See that 90-degree angle? That's max torque. And that's where I'm really going to drive it through. And now I've got another point, precise point that I'm pointing at. Okay? So that's mid-level slap shot. Even though our hockey puck's way down there, that's coming next. Ms. Julie, have fun.
That's kind of cool. So wait.
So there's a few things in a gym that can give you these inputs to your body like a rip trainer.
So wait, where was the hand again? I'm sorry.
So we got to do a slap shot.
So.
Yeah, so how do we do that? That's got to be power that way somehow. So maybe we change our hands, huh?
Wow. Feeling really. Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Never played hockey. Listen.
And this is going to be common, folks. And then this hand is going to be under.
Oh, okay.
That's over, under, and she's facing you guys in the home viewing audience, and then she's going to be sweeping around, and we do the mid-level first, right?
Right.
Okay, so this foot's a little cheated forward from this foot, like that, okay?
Okay.
And then she's going to drive off this back foot, and she's going to pick a point across the room, and that hand's going to be right into her right hip, and she's pointing right there.
Wow.
Now, and she's going to control it as it comes back through middle.
Right.
So she drives through middle, points, and then she controls it as it comes back.
Wow. I feel like my feet are going to end up like this. Yours didn't.
Notice that back foot, so her heel is going straight back as she's driving off. That looks good. We're really getting good low and really athletic in there. Boom. She points again. Is that 4 or 5?
4.
4.
Switch side there.
Yeah, I'll do 4 more.
Okay.
So you in the home viewing audience can, if you're exercising with Julie, you can practice with her. Just getting that thing around. Remember that precise target point across the room, and you want to point to it with that base hand right into your hip. And you can hear her breathe.
Woo! These are no joke.
Okay? And then she's going to switch that. So she's going to switch hands. Now she's going to start with her back to you guys, right? Okay, there. And then which foot's going to be a little offset?
That's right foot. Right?
Okay? Now, what did she do? That's got to go into the hip.
Right.
Okay? So she's going to drive off this right foot. Now, she has that right foot kind of static. I'm going to see her really drive off there. And then, the next thing I'm looking for is she drives off. I'm looking for that hand to be right next to her hip, and she has a nice, precise point across the room. She controls it back.
It's like once you do it a few times, you get the muscle memory.
Yeah. So she's never done any of these exercises, folks, so she's learning, and you're learning along with her.
Question. Arm bent or straight?
Your arm can be wherever it wants to be.
Doesn't matter.
You're just trying to muscle that thing around. Now, we're going to play with her a little bit. So walk out a little bit, Julie. Just a little bit, and just see how hard it is. I mean,
I know.
so right here's the max torque. She's got to come through this max torque area. So try it. Wow, is that hard? And she's got to use her back leg for that. So when you really go out, guys, and produce power, you've got to use that back leg to drive that power to get around. And that's going to make you really powerful for sports or
That is so
picking
good.
up your little kid. I don't care what you do.
Absolutely.
Good.
This is so good.
Hockey puck. It's a slap shot and it's low. So this is the real deal, folks. This is what we've been waiting for. The mid-level was just practice. We learned how to hold our hockey stick. And now I'm going to come on out and this foot's a little cheated forward, right? And my hockey puck is probably around right here, folks. Right about there. So what I'm going to do is this is a mid-level slap shot made multi-planar. Ooh, how about that? So how do we do that? So I still drive off this back foot, and now I'm going to sweep low, and I hit my hockey puck, and then I come up, and I point at my same precise point across the room. This is in my hip, and I come back through middle. Don't go low again. It'll get away from you. I'll demonstrate one more time. I'm going to sweep low. Boom! I got my hockey puck. I'm driving off that back leg, and you're going to need that back leg. I'll just demonstrate from the other side. That's how I hold it, right? This foot's cheated a little farther forward than this foot, and my hockey puck is just right there low on the floor. I come up, have my precise point across the room. It's different than the other side. And this is in my hip, and I go through middle again, and I'll sweep it one more time, low, boom. And I come back through middle. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. See how easy he made that look?
Now, it's not easy.
It is not. Wait, I have to about
Especially if you control it through that multiplanar sweep, going low.
Okay.
So she's holding it right. She has that foot a little cheated forward, that left foot.
Okay.
Her hockey puck's out there about right in the middle.
Okay.
Between her feet, about 2 feet away from her, a foot and a half. She sweeps low. Now I want to see her really pivot on that back foot.
Right.
And I want to see her get low with that leg. Yeah, take that elevator down, I call it. Don't bend over at the waist. I want you to get low, and that protects that lumbar, right? If I get low, that protects that lumbar.
Right.
And that's what we're looking for. And also we're going to generate power.
Woo! That's so hard. It makes me think of a hockey player hitting the puck and then you follow through right to your target.
Into the net.
Ah, these are hard.
And she goes right back through middle, controls it. And again, she has that left arm kind of straight. It can be a little bit bent, you know. Kind of a natural feel there. Okay?
Okay, switch,
Yeah, switch.
please.
That's close enough to 8. You'll see from the other side, and you can see,
Right. I gotta remember how to do this now.
yeah,
This.
there.
Woo!
So it'll, if you hold it incorrectly,
It'll feel weird.
it'll feel goofy,
Yeah.
and you'll hold it right eventually. Okay? So here's the hockey puck. She's going to swoop down. She gets it. And again, this foot's a little lazy for her, so she needs to neurally thinking about driving there. And that's a common pattern I've seen with many clients. So one side might, you know, kind of dig in and be a little more neurally efficient than the other. We want to make sure that when she finishes, that left hand is right next to her hip. And Julie, just pause and hold it there when you point. So come around, have this hand tight in, right there. She points, and now she can release it through middle. Nice.
Whew.
Slow is strong. If you put momentum behind stuff, often it's easier, but to do it slow and strong, we're really getting those little cross bridges of our muscles working.
One more.
And here she goes.
Oh,
Hockey slap shots.
these are tough. Thank you. Those are so hard.
Fly fishing casting. I don't fly fish. I don't know. I have demoed a bathroom wall though, and so this is like it's kind of like an axe shot, but we're not coming all the way down, so we have to call it something else. So to me, it kind of looks something like fly fishing and casting, and I'm just trying to come over my shoulder and not whack my head. That's all I got to do. And notice how my tricep extends and locks out. So it's a good way to get the triceps going, and we've just finished those hockey slap shots things, which were hard.
Right.
So this is kind of a little bit of a little lighter bit here, so we'll watch Miss Julie do it.
It's over my right shoulder.
It's going to be over both shoulders, so
Okay.
yeah, and how do we do this? We pretty much kind of hold this kind of at 1-ish and 4-ish,
Okay.
somewhere there, and then she's just going to go ahead and
One leg in front.
yeah, you can have either both legs either together or bias maybe the opposite leg of the stick forward. And we're just going to lock that out, and that's all it is. So we can pretend we're fly fishing, we can pretend we're demoing a bathroom wall with a sledgehammer, or we're doing an axe halfway through the stroke. And that's it. And then yeah, so we say 8's our number, but in fact, this thing, it's really not that hard.
Right.
We're not using that many muscles, but I do like it because I can get you strong for push-ups later by activating your tricep with this.
Ah.
And that's one of the biggest benefits of this bit. And enough said. Stab the woolly mammoth. Now that is a really offensive title, and trust me, there's no human on this earth that is more upset about mankind's ability to have extinction of our megafauna. Okay, that's all I want to say. But it's a game, folks. And if you don't like the concept of a woolly mammoth that we're trying to stab, then you can stab the four corners of a U-Haul van. Okay, whatever you want. But the idea is that we have this big, square, rectangular beast here, van or woolly mammoth, and we have a lower bit, an upper bit, and then in the front part, there's a lower bit, and then there's an upper bit. So we want to hit these 4 points, and then we want to introduce the concept of agility. Now, we want to hold our spear. There's 2 ways to do it. I can hold the spear this way. This hand is under. And then that kind of facilitates me hitting these high points. And then if I hold my spear this way, that facilitates holding the spear low. Far be it from me to tell my fellow cave woman how to hold her spear. She can hold it any way she wants. So the idea is I'm going to have a pattern where I want to introduce agility, but this is going to be a structured variability. That's a big word, structured variability. What do I mean by that? That means I'm going to have very precise points, and they're not really random, they're precise points. I just showed them to you. And I'm going to step, step, stab, step, step back. Step, step, stab, step, step back. Now I'm going over there. Step, step, stab, step, step back, and step, step, stab, step, step back. Now, that poor woolly mammoth, he wants to kill you, and he should want to kill you. You got to get out of there. So the idea then is after you've gotten your step patterns down, increase the speed, right? So boom, get in, get out. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. Okay? So that step, step, stab, step, step back, and I just picked it up for agility.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, let's watch Miss Julie do it.
Well, you've already killed the woolly mammoth, so now I don't have to.
No, no, no.
Okay.
So everything's to this side of her, right? So the spear, the cord, and the bungee cord is on the tip. And so she's going to have her 4 points here, there, there, and there. And why don't we go around that square just like that?
Okay. So
okay. So go in and step, step, stab.
Look.
Well, I said go low first, but that's okay.
Oh, you did say
she
go
wants
low
to go
first.
high.
Sorry, we'll go low first.
Step, step, stab, step, step back, step, step, stab, step, step back. Let's go over here. Step, step, stab, step, step back, and step, step, stab, step, step back. Pick up the pace.
Okay.
Do it again. Boom. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. He wants to kill you. Get in. Boom, then tussle something around. Boom, get in there. Boom, get out.
Huh.
Do it again, do it again. So normally I go around these 4 points. I like going around that 3 times, a total of 12 stabs. And trust me, with this agility, you should get kind of out of breath a little bit.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay? Now let's reverse it and go the other way.
You mean the other side?
Yeah. So you have to change hands. Now everything's to this side of her. The attachment point, the spear tip, and then, so again, these are structured points. We're not putting random points out there. It's structured variability. So for you athletes, get these neural patterns down first before you go willy-nilly all over the place doing all this random strikes. So let's do it. Let's go low and get out. And here we go. That's a corner. And then a top corner over there. And then a low one there. And then keep on going. Now get quicker. Boom. Get in. Get in. Boom. Get out. Get in. Boom. Get out. Get in. Boom. One more round, right? So it's for the 12. You got to watch that spear when it's high like that because it can get away from you a little bit. And there we have it. That's stab the woolly mammoth, or let's call it stab the four corners of the U-Haul van. Okay.
Stab box. Here you go.
Straight arm hip turn. We want to get power out of the lower body. And how are we going to do that? So I'm going to hold it kind of middle here on the black. And remember before we talked about having that foot out a little bit biased? So when I turn, I'm in a nice stable split stance. Well, we're going to do that again. So we're going to put this foot out just a little bit ahead of this foot. And straight arms, here's my straight arms. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and power. And this is like an anti-rotation pattern or warning pattern with my arms. And the force is being transmitted down through my body to my feet, but the power and the turning power is generating fully from that lower body. And we come up on that ball of the foot, that heel is up. And that's all it is. Okay? So, and I can feel that pull where I'm now standing exactly the side of this strap. Before in our slap shots, it was similar, but we really want to emphasize the drive of the lower body, and that's great for sports. And I'm thinking baseball and shot put and discus and whatever the heck you guys have, tennis. Here you go.
So it was hands like this?
So, so now Julie's going to do it from this side. So hands are on the top. Yeah, so kind of middle, black, almost like our kayaks, right? And so here she is, this foot is out, cheated towards me a little bit, and she's just keeping her arms straight like a rock'em sock'em robot, and she's just gonna
turn that foot.
Yeah. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
And you see how she naturally cheated this foot out at about a 45-degree angle, and then, because she probably knew this was going to help her knee out, but all we're doing is just generating power.
Oh, wow.
1, 2.
And it wants to pull you back.
And it wants to pull you back. Right, that's that rotation pattern. And where's the max torque here? So hold it out there, Julie. Right, it's this arm in this cord. So that's your torque pattern, and that's what you're resisting through your body down into your feet. Okay? Now, I'm going to have her do it now. She's going to actually hold it in close, and when she turns, she can press out. That's another option. So it turns, and she can press out, and then come back. So again, just a variation if you want to add a little bit of strength press in there.
Well, no, it's turn and then press.
Yeah, okay. So why don't we do it from the other side, Julie? So we can see it from all angles.
Whoops.
All right, and again, so everything is right here. And this hand is kind of holding the stick. And then this foot's going to be cheated out just a little bit. And then she's going to have straight arms first. And she's just going to hold them straight. And all the power is generating. And really, it's this hip bone here, right? So it's when this foot pivots, and this hip bone is now driving towards your target.
Yeah.
And then that produces the power, and then your arms are just going along for the ride. Now she's going to do variation 2, where she's going to go ahead and keep it in tight, and she's going to turn, and then as she finishes out, she presses. And she's going to come on back, so we can kind of blend it. As you turn, you press. And again, this foot got a little lazy. I want to see that thing really turn out. There you go.
It helps too.
And maybe 2 more, Julie. And 1 more. And that's straight arm turn to press, and it's also just straight arm turn. So 2 variations. Flag pole, side shuffle, and wave the flag. All right. Here's my flag pole. And my base hand is down here with my strap. And I'm holding kind of middle here. And then we introduced the concept of a side shuffle or actually a shuffle with our stab the woolly mammoth or stab the four corners of the U-Haul van side. And that was like a forward and aft, front and back type of agility. And so now we introduce side step agility, which we like to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it, and notice I hold it like almost like a 90 here, because my pec and my bicep and my anterior deltoid, they're really working, and they're going to resist this force. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a really quick side shuffle, get out to max torque, and then I'm going to boom, 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 boom. I'm going to wave that flag, and then I'm going to side shuffle back. And then I go out again and again and again and again. All right?
Okay.
So it's great. It's great. And it's metabolic. So all these quick pattern foot things, and Julie will do it this way first, and then she'll turn around. So she's going to hold it, middle, black, black. And then this elbow is kind of up, because the pec is going to be resisting that force. And you can just slowly go out, kind of sidestep first. And then when you get out to max torque here, Julie, go ahead and ooh, it's hard. 3, 4, and then we're going to just step back. Now pick up the pace. Boom, get out there, and then boom, hit it. 2, 3, 4, and shuffle back. Go out again for 3. Hit it. Boom, 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 boom. Come back. One more. Boom, 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 and come on back.
Woo!
Switch, face that way.
Wow.
That's the home viewing audience. You can see.
Just so you know, he always makes these look really easy, but these are not.
No, they're not easy at all. Notice how I always stop at like 3 reps or so, or a little bit of variation. So here this arm is up, right? There it is. Going out, side shuffle, boom. And then she hits the top of that flagpole. She waves the flag 4 times, and then she shuffles back in.
Woo, that's hard.
And then she shuffles out for number 2. She waves the flagpole.
Ooh.
And notice that bicep and that tricep and that whatever the heck's going on in there, and that pec muscle and this big force.
Whew.
Rip trainers have big force that are kind of pulling you all over the place. And she comes on back. I need to do that 4 times with 4 little flagpoles. Ha! Good one.
That's hard. That's a good one.
Machine guns. Okay, so we've noticed we're doing a lot of stuff standing to the side, and that's been characteristic of these last several exercises we've done. And I'm going to hold it at 1 and 4, over under. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just standing, my feet are exactly even right now, and this is pretty much all upper body and core. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to muscle this baby around, and I'm going to point directly 90 degrees from my body at max torque, and this hand is right in my hip. And then I'm going to release it, and I'm just going to come on out. Boom, I powered around. Again, it's the concept of building up this pec anterior deltoid complex. So let's go ahead and do that, Julie. So she's going to do it from this side. So again, we come out, we never have slack in the strap, so that's where we like to go. And then she's just going to muscle this baby around, and she's going to point right at me. And that hand is right by that hip. And then it's a great core exercise. It's great upper body, and the legs are just resisting all the forces, but they're really not involved too much. So I like this kind of upper body, and that's it. Now when we get out there, so do it again one more time, and maybe I can hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay? So instead of just popping it out there, I like to actually hold it and get that strength built up. Now let's switch it, Julie. Let's go to the other side.
This upper one was...
So again, the stick is, everything is all in the line here from the attachment point all the way out. And then she's just going to muscle this thing around, and she's going to hold it. This hand is tight into her hip, and it's pointing right out at a 90 from her hips. And that's it. And let's just do 4 of these, 3. And on the 4th one here, we're going to hold it for a 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. So do as many as you want. It's a great way to build up those pec muscles. Sternum spears. We've done machine guns. It's kind of similar, but it's harder. And some of you, it's going to take quite a bit of upper body strength to get this thing up there. So this, if you can't do it, then stay with your machine guns until you build that strength up, okay? But a sternum spear looks similar. Remember the machine gun I was here? Okay? But now, this is my sternum. So the end of the base hand, instead of being at my hip here, it's going to be at my sternum. Simple. Looks like this. Boom. And I hold it out there. And it's right straight away from my body, across the room, and then that's all it is. Okay? 1 and 4.
All right.
All right, Julie.
It looks hard, though. I bet it's hard.
Yeah, this is kind of hard.
But
Again,
you did make it look hard.
So this is harder. Yeah, and you have to have a certain amount of upper body strength. So what's Julie going to do? This hand is going to go into the sternum area, and this hand is going to make this thing point right at me.
Oh!
And you got to move that thing in, right?
Yeah.
You kind of want to have it here, didn't you?
You see me sneak it over.
Yeah. Okay. So here she goes. Get that. Try to see me get that. Oh, gee.
Oh.
Yeah, so she's not quite getting it all the way in. She's kind of getting it to about here.
Maybe if I sneak over.
But she's got a little bit of slack in the strap now, but she can get it out now a little better. Okay,
Man.
so we said the rule, no slack in the strap. Well, that's the only way she can get it out. If she has a little bit of slack in the strap.
Yeah.
Okay, do whatever it takes, folks. So let's go from this way.
You can see it.
And let's see it.
Whew. Okay, let's be realistic.
So her goal is to get this hand
Up here.
right here into the sternum.
Okay.
Can she do it? And she might want to it's even harder because this is the torque, right?
Right.
But if her hand cheats down a little bit, maybe that'll give her a little more mechanical advantage.
Yep.
And then she's just trying best she can just to get it out there for those sternum spears.
Wow.
Good. And that's a huge load. It's a huge torque that your upper body has to do. And anyway, so regress to the machine guns, folks, until you build some of that strength up.
Whew. That's good.
High row to side stab. What are these weird names? We're doing so many odd things. But, so what I'm going to do, all right? I'm holding the stick here. I'm going to come up. I'm holding it like 1 and 4, right? 1 and 4 here. And I'm going to come up to a high row. And I'm going to hold the stick about 6 inches from my body. Now Julie's going to come right here to the side of me. And she's going to put her hand up. And that's my target. I'm keeping the stick parallel to my body, 6 inches away in this high row. And I'm just going to translate and slide the stick out and gently tap her hand. I used to call these shark stabs, but I don't want to stab a shark. And then that's what it is. And then I release it. I come up to a high row. Boom. And I'm activating that upper back. And then I slide the baton out. I touch my target. And I keep it, again, about 6 inches from my chest. So we'll watch Julie do it.
Wow. Again.
And you couldn't see it from the front angle, but...
So this was underneath, right?
This is going to be kind of over and over. Because it's going to be a row.
Well, you have that hand.
Okay? And this is going to be over. Okay? And then you're going to turn now.
Right.
Right. Now, she's going to allow the stick, this to kind of go in.
Mm-hmm.
And now what she's going to do, I'm going to mirror her, right?
Okay.
Right. And then you're going to pull up good high. Right. And I hope you can see all of her back muscles now. They're really working. And now she's just going to translate and slide this stick out and stab her side target, and then she's going to come on back and hold that tension and now release it. Huh.
Oh. Okay, I got
And you
it.
can probably feel it in your neck, your traps.
Yep.
You know, all those little crazy neck muscles in there. Okay, let's do it again. Follow me. Pull up high, slide it out, stab it, come back to center, and release. Is that 3 or 4? Let's do 4, huh? Okay, here we go. Let's come on in. High, slide, translate, stab, come in, and release.
Oh.
Now she's going to flip the stick, right?
Sure.
And again, it's over, over. It's like a row. There you go. She has it at 1 and 4. And then the stick just kind of comes out. And then she's going to pull it up high. And here's her target. She's going to slide it. She's going to try to touch my hand and come on back. And then she releases it. She does it again. I'm standing right to the side of her.
Oh.
And I want to see if she can keep that stick just no more than 6 inches away from her torso. And that stick stays parallel to her torso. And this is 4, right?
Yeah. Oh.
High row side stabs.
Woo. That
Right.
was her no joke.
Great exercise. Transverse rotation with split stance, or split stance with transverse rotation. What does that look like? Here we go. I'm going to hold it. Middle, middle. Everything is right there, right, folks? Whoop. Now, what leg goes back? My left leg goes back because I'm going to be turning into you. So this is where the stick splits in half. Boom, that's right at my sternum, my nose, my eyes. And I'm just going to turn this thing right into you guys. And I can hold it there, right? That's all it is. And then the other version is I can go ahead and stand, notice my back foot on the ball of the foot, heel up, and I can just kind of drop that back knee, boom, and I can turn into, you get a really nice athletic stance. Okay, here we go. Just gonna hold out kind of middle, middle.
And my right leg goes back.
Yeah. Right leg's back, left leg's out, because you're going to be turning in. So 2 times, Julie, just turn in to this side. And here it is. It's about a 45-degree. We're holding it. Good. And let's do it again. She goes on out. That nice 45. There's her nose. There's her sternum. There's the middle of the stick. Okay. Now what I really want you to do is really kind of turn and drop that back knee down as we get nice and kind of low. And again, now we're activating more glutes, aren't we, folks? And more quads and more hams, and her whole body has to resist this huge force out there. Good, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's switch sides.
Let's switch sides, Julie.
Let's give that side a break.
But it's good for you guys, right? You can see each side here. Okay, so which leg would go forward first? Ah!
Sorry.
There we go, that leg, right?
That's what you're here for. Help me out here.
Here we go.
Yay.
Here's your nice split stance, and we're just gonna have her hold it towards you guys for 4, 3, 2, 1, and she comes on back. And again, where the eyes go, the body goes, and it's right out there. Nose, sternum, middle of spear, all in a line. Now, we're going to do this a little more athletic now. And as she goes down, okay, she's going to drop down and come on back. Have that back foot a little bit farther back, Julie. Heel up. I like starting with the heel up. And then she just drops the knee as she turns into you for 4, 3, 2, 1,
Ooh.
and release.
Ay.
And that's good.
That's really good.
Random samurai strikes. Hey, random. Remember we talked about structural variability, blah, 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 all these polysyllabic words that are too long. But the idea was to do a certain pattern that gets our neural system up as we do front and back agility or any agility we want. And so now we can introduce random variability where we've learned our hockey pucks, right? You know, I can come out and boom, you know, and then boom, maybe it's low, and then boom, boom, maybe it's high. So they're random strikes. And it's more like a samurai stick now. So that's the game. And notice that when I do it, boom! I want to do it really fast, and I want to punch it out there. And when I do that, boom! See that thing wobble, 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 wobble? That's what we want. We want that really, this bungee cord to go crazy as we do these random patterns as I shuffle in and out. Okay? So it's going to be very metabolic, as we can imagine. And so I'm going to let Julie do this on her own.
Okay.
And I just want to go out there and pick something, middle. She did. Is it going to be low or high? I don't know. That's what she wants to do. Maybe it's high, and she shuffles in.
Ooh.
And it's that power and that speed, and boom, can we get that thing to wobble like that bungee cord? Boom.
Woo, these are hard.
These are hard. Now let's maybe switch it, other side.
Wow. Your heart rate's really up.
So we can do this with a partner, folks. I hope you can see it. I hope I'm not out of frame. But I'm going to give Julie targets here.
Okay.
So she doesn't know what they're going to be, but all of a sudden she has to come and just come out and hit this target. Boom. Boom, it's over here. Quick, it's over here. Boom, it's over here, quick. So now I'm giving her the random inputs because as a tennis player, you don't know where that ball's coming.
Oh my God.
There comes a point where you just can't do it anymore, and it's so good, and you just got to stop.
Yeah, it's good, but a trainer helping you do that would be great.
Yeah, so with a trainer, so you trainers out there, have fun with your clients, or if your clients partner up, you guys can have fun.
Very cool.
And that is the TRX Rip Trainer, folks, all in a nutshell.
It's really good.